All right, go ahead, Jamie.
So we had just left the interview with the talk with Rebecca, and Ix had decided to follow Rebecca, and along the way she got suggested to not once but twice. The first time by a tiefling, and the second time by a human, right? Or someone who appeared to be human.
Elf.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Yes, and but this time, the second time, the first time X passed, and that was Pog. But the second time X failed, and then they were told to go find us. Meanwhile, we were all just walking along on our merry little way home when Parker's like, "Hey, make a perception check," and then like most of us passed the perception check. And then Nagi Earth and grasped the dude who was following us about it. In the middle of the street was crowded. And yeah, but by the time Nagi got there, the dude had weaseled his way out of the grasp. And then we got caught up with Ix, and Ix was pissed once they caught up with us because it's like, hey, how dare someone suggest at me? And then when we went then at the we were at the at the Julius's house. Nagi was like, "Yo, this dude is following us," and she turned into one of the devils, and then he had the guy with a spell scar above his eye, and then Julius was like, "Oh shit, that's the dude who McStabbed me," and then then Ix decided. Then we did some perception checks, and little did we know, they were out there watching us still. Then Ix went to go to the Gilded Cage peoples and was met up. Well, first thing that Parker mentioned was Ben Kobold, and he was very jumpy, and I love him. And then Ix told Shinohara that the devils are stalking Julius, and then Shinohara was like, "Oh shit, not good, not good." And then that's when we met Narafumi, and she is a drow woman who is a wizard. Narafumi was like, "Yeah, I'll follow you back, Ix," and then they pretended to be dating, really badly, might I add, really badly. And then when we got there, we made a plan. It's like, okay, so there's still people out there. Why don't we? Well, because Alex was still keeping watch, and he noticed that people were on the rooftops. And then I was like, I can turn two people invisible, and Narafumi was like, yeah, and I can let two people fly. And so Nagi and Julius went up there and flew about it and tried to talk to a guy who was the first guy we saw, who was closest to us, I think. And Julius charmed the dude, and notably got almost no information about it.
If Julius would have been smarter, he would have fucking disguised himself with the like brand of the Black Devil's tattoo on his neck. Mans forgot about that.
That's
so
okay.
He didn't get information because he's like, "You're not in the group, bruh."
Yeah, and also the guy was like, "Dude, I know I'm your buddy, but
I can't tell you that, man."
Yeah, and it's like, dude, he didn't even know Julius. But then he kept the dude we were interrogating kept looking across the way, and there is another assassin guy watching us. So Nagi went to go look at him while Julius was talking to the guy he charmed, and then by the time Nagi got there, he was gone because he had seen that the guy who his buddy was talking to one strange person, because Nagi was still invisible. And so then when Nagi got back, Julius and Nagi were like, "Oh, we're outie," and then hid in a bush, and whatchamacallit, then we had one way or another made our way back to Julius's house. And when we looked at the rooftop, I think it was Alex had seen the assassin Julius had charmed was being berated by the other assassin. Like, dude, you fucked up. You done goofed. And I'm pretty sure that's where we ended, right? With the long rest. Oh no, there's one big thing. Yeah. Julius woke up to blood dripping on his fucking head, on the back of it, dripping on him. And he looked up, was a fucking hawk on the
In-
fucking roof of the fucking into his roof, and it was like, that's where you'll pick up next week, folks.
Yep,
And
he was in the gallery part. He had like laid out a place
in the
in the
studio,
gallery.
right?
Yep, in the studio with Alex, and he kind of just like fell asleep up there, just like kind of messing around with his stuff. And yeah, somehow none of them noticed somebody creep up and fucking pin that hawk to the ceiling. So that's cool.
Yeah, that was the biggest message they could have sent. And Julius is so fucked, guys. Not us, just Julius.
Julius specifically derogatory.
And I'm pretty sure I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I think you got it all, babe. Good job.
Yeah.
Inspiration if you don't already have it.
Yeah, I think I used my inspiration last session. So I'll
I
take
think
this
so.
inspiration. Yeah, because I think a bunch of us remembered we had inspiration last session.
Yeah. I don't know what else.
Alrighty, we can get started. Julius. Dawn is breaking 8 days before the Harvest Festival, 8 days before Thomas Walsh returns from wherever he is. And you are sitting on your art stool looking up at the ceiling at this bloody hawk. What do you do?
He probably stares at the bloodied hand for a minute, because he had touched the back of his neck to look at what it was. He stares at the blood. Stares up at the hawk again. And slowly starts to get up. He's going to look for where his knife is, or knives in this room. Are they there?
Yeah, you can find them. Alex, by the way, you are also waking up at this point. You were in the room with Julius.
Julius is just... He seems to be trying to be calm, but his... Mans is trying to fight to breathe, probably.
So, is Alex awake?
Yes.
Julius? He sees the hawk, yeah?
Yeah.
Julius doesn't say anything.
Trip.
Julius?
He's going to start looking around the room for any signs of what could have been disturbed. He is going to go look at anything that had been disturbed, and he is going to look at every entrance on this top floor until he is satisfied, and then he is going to move downstairs and do the exact same thing, knife in hand.
Alex is going to follow him.
Check.
Investigation.
Alex is going to follow him.
Like, he's going to do his best to fucking look. Investigation.
Alex is going to follow him.
Oh, buddy!
Can Alex help?
You can help, yeah.
Okay, I'll or do you want to roll on yourself, or...
You've got a better modifier.
Okay. That's a natural 20.
Hey! Natural 20 crab raise.
Hey!
And Alex is not going to really be, like, saying anything, really. He's just going to, like, do the whole, like, comforting presence thing and make sure he's not, like, super close or crowding. Just, helping, backing off, but also, like, help, like, after Julius assesses something, just, like, double checking as well.
So as the two of you are moving through the house, first off, in the gallery, there nothing besides the hawk, nothing has been touched. And as you start to move through the house, everything seems as pristine as it was last night. Nothing is touched. Nothing is maneuvered. It is only with the natural 20 that Alex and Julius are both able to spot one of the windows on the bottom floor connected to the kitchen has just the hint of slightly more smudging. As if this was the way in and out. But other than that, there is nothing. The others, you are starting to wake up as well, emerging from wherever you slept, and you see this sort of strange, silent procession of the two of them, checking every window, door, and hallway and wall, until they're standing in the kitchen and looking at this window with just that little bit of smudging. And you are gathered in the kitchen. And Julius has blood streaked down the back of his neck. Doesn't look like he's injured, but a couple of rolls down.
And a knife in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
What We woke up. Well, Julius woke up first. There was a dead hawk on the ceiling. And none of you better have done that.
Why would we do that?
No, yeah.
That's not that I would expect it from any of you, but, double checking that it's not. And someone got in this window.
Right, okay, that moves plans ahead in priority. Julius.
It's not safe anymore. It's not safe anymore. It's not safe anymore.
Julius.
Okay,
do you need to... I don't know.
He pauses for a moment. He's kind of like in a little bit of a haze, it seems, but he kind of just looks at his hands again, and then looks
Julius,
back at you.
Julius, do we need to go somewhere else right now? You've got disguise magic, yeah, so do I.
does his emotional state look bad enough that calm emotions might be justified?
No. He just looks... Well, I mean, you could technically do an insight, probably.
What time is it?
It is about 8 in the morning.
Okay.
Right, okay. If we need one of us to look like you.
Yeah, I
Do it
could
for
do
free.
it if you want.
I won't take a spell slot to do it.
I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go.
Maybe Shinohara would know of a place that would be safe.
You have like
That,
safe houses or something?
Maybe we don't need a place that's necessarily safe. We need a place that's not here.
Yeah.
Right.
Julius
Also,
just nods.
we need to, from now on, we need to be more vigilant. Maybe even when we're sleeping indoors, we should probably keep watches.
we got
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Do you want help cleaning up the blood?
What? What?
The blood.
Yeah. There's like tape, like a cloth in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. Alex is going to grab one and be like, "Hey, are you good at being touched right now, or should I just hand this to you and you can handle it?"
He'll hold out a hand for the towel.
Alex hands it over.
However, he will hand you his knife.
Alex takes the knife and just kind of holds it, like not putting it away, like holding it so that like Julius can take it back if he wants
Yeah,
to.
his eyes are not leaving the knife even as he cleans his hands.
Make sure you get the back of your neck, because that's probably helpful.
He does so. Probably not in, like, the best way, though. He probably just, like, rubs it a little and then just kind of, like, tosses the rag away. And then reaches for the knife again.
Alex hands back the knife.
He will take the knife in both hands.
And can you send a message to Roberta to make sure she made it back safely?
Yes, of course, dear. Just give me a moment. I'll cast it once I need to organize my thoughts.
Julius, do you have a ladder of thoughts that I can use to get that down?
I should. I think.
Yeah, you have a step ladder or something. It's easy enough to do.
Yeah, I'll show you. He's definitely distracted. Mans is always distracted these days, but he's definitely distracted. he's kind of like he's like looking around corners a little bit. Mans looks spooked a little bit. But yeah.
The house is empty beside you guys.
Yeah. But yeah, he would get the stepladder stuff and everything.
And I think as you do, I just kind of, this seems very personal.
No shit.
Don't fucking think of that. We knew there was a level of threat because Shinohara had a bodyguard. This is a deliberate ruining of your sanctuary. This is personal.
Not to mention that, the hawk is the same bird as on his neck.
Well, yeah, I assumed that was what this was. It's a message saying that they're going to fucking kill me.
Yep.
Why not dead? Why fuck with you like that?
Because they want me to break down. And they want it to reach Shinohara so she gets afraid. This is not...
Are we going to...
Should we bring...
Sorry.
This is showing that they mean business. They're going to start doing things now.
Should Shinohara come with us? Just so we know she's safe?
Well,
She's
okay,
safer
so
where she is.
if they wanted to do anything to Shinohara, they would have done something by now. She's been in the city for however long Julius has left the city, and she seems to be fine.
But what if we hide and then they try to hurt her to bring us out?
I'm not going into hiding. That's not... This is... I'm not going to let them do that.
Okay.
But we need to move carefully.
Irene is going to cast Sending to Rivetta and say, Rivetta, it's Irene. Did you make it home safe? We're just a tad anxious. I'll be in touch again. Please take care with everything, dear.
Moment's pause again. She always seems to have this little bit of moment's pause after ascending. Maybe she's just counting words or something.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Miss Irene. I'm fine. Thanks for the check-in. I'll get back to you on Cleaner. Tell Julius I love him. that might be won over. Edit it however it fits.
I don't particularly mind.
Yeah.
Irene will go over to Julius and say, "All right, Julius, dear, your mother is safe. She made it home perfectly fine, and she says she loves you."
You kind of watch him relax a little bit at that. And he nods. Good.
Alright, okay, the two things aren't related. At least not.
No, this is a direct thing against us. Me and Shinohara and the Gilded Cage. They specifically went after my brand!
That's really rude of them.
Yeah.
So what's the
Okay.
plan?
Who of the opposite of the Gilded Cage are still?
Still around.
Yes.
Me, Shinohara, and Aki.
Aki's
That's
believed deceased, so they are probably not going to be.
well, Watanabe and Ketsune are not here anymore. And Maya is a traitor. Apparently.
And we'll deal with that later. Because that.
We don't need... That's not something you need to put your nose into. In fact, I would advise you not to. That's cage business.
We do not need to care about that. That's my point. We don't need to care about that. Right now, they're probably going to be going for you and Shinohara. If they continue only going for you instead of Shinohara, that means that this is deliberately not just Cage, but this is you.
Well,
And
considering I've had a few thoughts and theories in the last several years. There is a possibility that Walsh knew I was still around and messing around. He could have influenced somebody to be a traitor within our midst and figured out I was there. Maybe dabbled in things. Set things into motion. I don't know. I've had thoughts about it. Motherfucker's been in my dreams sometimes, I swear.
My dear, did you want me to send a message to Shinohara to check on her?
Just... He kind of like rubs the back of his neck. Yeah.
What would you like me to say? Or I can do it myself, whichever you prefer.
If you're able to just tell her that there's been a break-in of sorts here.
Mm-hmm.
Have her check her own property and
Alright, yeah.
and the like.
That's
I
nice.
trust you to make a better decision than I am right now.
I'll take care of it, dear. I promise.
He kind of just like shakes his head a little bit.
Do that. I think Asta takes a deep breath and there's a small pulse of magic as he's gonna calm emotions everyone.
I love a little calm emotions as a treat.
Do we have to roll saves for it?
Alex is protecting the street.
What did you say, Joe?
You can choose to fail. Asta, I think, would. I'm gonna do something.
What are you doing? What's the rule?
It is. I don't think you have time before he does it. Charisma save. I'll send it to that.
Haha, Julius saves.
Oh, Alex is not happy about this.
Oh, Alex. Oh. Yeah.
There
Does
is
this sound
just
like
this-
everyone?
Yeah.
Well, everyone within 20 feet of Asta.
Which is everyone.
Yeah.
Nope.
Ooh.
For everyone in the room, with the exception of Julie and Ixalia, Julius and Ixalia save, but there is this sort of wave.
Look at them 20s! Yeah!
Nagi also saves. There's first off, there's this scent. First of what is probably orchid flower. And it's sort of comforting and calming. And for those of you that did not save or chose to fail, it sort of settles into your bones and you feel any anxieties, any fears sort of start to settle down a little.
Because this way we aren't making decisions in panic.
No one's panicking. We're just... I'm cool as a cucumber.
Of course, dear.
I was not panicking.
Well, that's a change.
I'm just a little bit empty headspace, but it's fine. There's room to make decisions. You think I haven't had stress like this before? That's funny.
Alex is like staring at his hands and like moving them around a little. Like he's not sure what's going on.
Oh, buddy.
Irene is going to send to Shinohara. Shinohara, it's Irene. There's been a break-in at Julius's home. A threat. Check your property if you can. You may have been targeted as well.
Unlike with Rivetta, there is no pause before you hear shit.
I love Shinohara, my beloved. I love her. God damn it.
You might
there's
have to, Amy.
And then there's kind of
You will die for Sonara.
Yeah, there's no choice.
And then there's the pauses if she's trying to put together like what she wants to say.
Her 24-word response.
Her 24-word response after shit. I'll send Ayemi. I know what this is about. Get out of the house for now. Meet at tavern.
All right. Irene will not choose to relay the first part of the message. She will instead turn to Julius and say, "She's sending Ayemi. She knows what this is about, evidently. She says to get out of the house for now and meet at the tavern."
Guess I'm fine taking all of
sorry,
you with
repeat
me.
that. Repeat that, Joe.
He turns to Nagi. Can we talk before we do this?
Yeah, sure.
And he's gonna pull her aside if he can.
Is the calm emotions over?
Yeah, it's just the one wave. You can kind of smell orchid still hanging in the air, but it's not like you don't have to keep saving.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still going for the people it affected.
Oh
For
no.
about a minute, yeah.
Alex is gonna like stick next to Julius again, not crowding, but because he's tall and he's aware.
Yeah. Tall and aware.
He is tall, unfortunately.
Asta is gonna look at Nagi and just... You would be my choice for the person to be as Julius. However, I am not comfortable putting you in that level of danger unless you are certain that is what you want to do.
I mean, I'm pretty fast. I can get in and out pretty quickly. I can also do the thing that I did to that ghost. And also I can make a giant hand come out of the ground.
That is part of why you would be my call, although I'd save off on that one because that gives it away. Okay?
Yeah. No, that's why I was thinking that I should be Julius because, aside from Ix, I'm probably the best suited for Juliusing and getting out.
However, you're also a kid. And I
Yeah.
don't want to put your life at risk without.
You're literally 15. But no, I get what you mean.
I can almost imagine the slight, look of kind of murder on on Aster's face.
Oh my god.
Very kind of tilted head and very flat look.
But, I mean, Nin wouldn't be a good choice because there's no way she could get out in and out really quickly, not without taking some sort of hit. Ix I trust, but
Pretty quick.
we might need Ix. Yeah, we might also need Ix for scouting or something. We'll need Ix. Yeah, I'll be Julius.
Okay, I will be right there if you get hit. Okay?
They'd have to hit me first.
They would.
Yeah.
Right.
But
okay.
Julius, during their conversation, is just muttering to himself. He's like, I was just going to have a nice day with Shinohara, talk over some drinks, and then this fucking happens. Like, he's just muttering like that.
Couple, 20, 30 minutes pass, and there is a knock on the back door. And there is Shinohara's, bodyguard. Affectionate.
Bodyguard asterisk.
Bodyguard asterisk, Tetsuno Ayemi. She is, to remind you, is a large sort of Goliath woman. Bald head, but you can see the little black tattoos running back. And she's dressed in sort of leather armor, big sort of fur cowl, and sort of in one hand, not on one hand, but kind of balanced over the back, held back on her across her back, sorry, is a very large, nasty looking mace thing.
Julius will let her in.
She sort of looks over the group and she's like, I haven't met half of you. Nice. Right, okay.
Pleasure to meet you, dear.
She doesn't seem like a woman of many words.
I love her.
Julius will just kind of give her the rundown of people, just point to people and be like, that's Aster, that's
She nods and she goes, how many of you good with a weapon?
I can hit with a stick, and I'm also good at punching.
I've got a big hammer.
That's some magic.
She has one hand up and she's like weapons, she has one hand and she counts 1, 2, Nagi, Aster. Nin offers magic, and on her other hand she holds one finger up. And I assume everyone is willing to be like, I'm pretty good at magic or combat.
Yeah.
And she kind of counts sort of casters versus melee versus ranged.
Yeah.
And she nods to herself. Okay. I'm just getting across town.
Oh, before we go, Julius, can you maybe turn into someone else or me even, and I turn into you? That way.
Fine. Yeah.
Nagi is the least likely to get hit. And I put it past them to start shooting when you run. It's what we do.
Give me a second, I gotta warm up. He's gonna try and, like, attempt to, like... Can I do, like, a performance check to see how well he can kind of, like, make his mannerisms a little more like, Nagi?
Make a forward check.
Oh, buddy! There's his low rolls! Look at him! Oh! Look at all of his fucking...
You're too stressed. You're too stressed and you're too tense to mimic the fully fluid movements and, like, very confident martial arts kind of movement and gait that Nagi has.
Mm-hmm.
Your stance is off.
I think I got it down.
If you're walking, like if somebody were to just bump into you, you'd be knocked over like a house of cards.
Nagi, I got this. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And then she'll turn it into Julius. Does she have to make a performance check?
No.
Okay. She's just gonna stick her chest out, act confident.
Yeah, Julius will
like
do
she-
this, guys. So.
Walk like she owns the place.
While that's going on, Ash is going to turn to Ix and... Are you willing to be our back? Make sure people aren't following.
Ixalia had already expressed that in chat and is willing to shift into drow face and be back. Yes.
Okay. I was just making sure that, like, the in-character had been prompted.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I was going to say Ixalia was going to offer that if no one asked, but here we are. I'm not doing an Ixalia impression, sorry.
Julius is just gonna be like, okay, everybody, let's go!
Oh god. Do I sound like that?
I mean, kind of just like, okay.
He gives her a wink. Oh, fuck.
And you can all head out the front door if that's what you desire.
He would tell her, though, what had happened, like, where the hawk was, and then also where they had figured out someone snuck out of, just before they leave. And then
she nods. Yeah. She nods and tells you to tell that to Cherish. Not to Cherish, sorry, to Fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Fortune is much more knowledgeable about that kind of thing. She's just big and hit shit.
Yep. Just wanted to make you aware, is all. Alright, let's take you guys to the fucking tavern.
Front. Nagi, you probably need to be in the middle, because we need to make it look like we're defending him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like it. It's fine. It's fine.
We got this.
Ayemi takes up a spot right next to Nagi, but also kind of intentionally relatively close to Julius, disguised as Nagi.
Yeah. Nagi will keep an eye out as we're going, even though she's putting on a fake bravado. Like, yeah.
Anyone keeping an eye out? Roll perception. Ixalia, I'll roll a perception and a stealth for you.
Julius will try and do that too. Let's see. Oh god, I forgot I didn't take perception for him. He's got like a 1 modifier.
Also, babe, you know in Tasha's they added a thing for sorcerers that can let you redo a failed save, right?
Perceptions for Granny and Snowball, absolutely.
It's fine.
Ixalia rolls perception and stealth. No, that's a nat 1 Ixalia plus a 23.
I thought you rolled a 13 for stealth because it's up there.
Oh, why was I rolling for you? Fucking Amy, ignore my rolls. Take yours. I think I got Irene.
Yeah, you got Irene.
Irene. Roll perception for Irene.
And for Snowball.
Irene. Snowball. Perception.
Oh,
Sounds about right.
Snowball.
Snowball is too busy. Snowball got a 9. She's too busy, like, just, like, giving the evil eye to people.
What is it with cats and rolling bad on perception checks in D&D?
I am checking. I need to roll a thing.
I wish I had a snack in my room. I only have Mike and Ike's.
More a snack, though.
But I can't eat meat.
That's true.
As you all step out onto the street, PK, Granny rolled a 16. Snowball rolled a 9. As you all step onto the street, you sort of glance upwards towards the couple of scout nests that you had seen last night, and you can't see anything. If anyone's up there, if anything is up there, they're not visible.
Yeah.
And you all kind of hold your breaths as you walk out into the street and turn right, following Ayami's instructions.
And possibly somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
good night.
You may head it out. But as you walk down the street, there is no sudden hail of arrows. There is no sudden flurry of movement. It is silent. There's a couple of normal people, seemingly normal people at least, out on their front lawns. There's one older woman who is tending to a small flower garden that gives you all kind of a sort of slightly alarmed, kind of confused look. But that's it.
This is gonna sound weird. Can I insight check these people to see if anything's off? If they're pretending to be.
Roll an insight check.
Yeah. 24.
They all seem like genuine, normal-ass people.
Okay, cool.
No one's reacting outside of what might be normal to react to see kind of what vaguely looks like a combat-ready group walking down the street.
Yeah.
The image of Irene talking to her skull.
Mm-hmm. And it is quite...
Oh, a bunch of combat-ready people and then a grandma. So,
yeah. It is quiet. It is quiet the whole walk to the Gilded Cages Tavern. It is early morning, and there are people moving about, people who are opening up shop, people who are going to work or to school, but there is no danger. Nothing swoops down from rooftop. Nothing emerges from shadowed alley. It is a normal morning.
Yeah.
And you hit the tavern, and Ayami is let through quick enough with all of you in tow. And the tavern itself is also fairly empty. It seems like the majority of business happens in the afternoon and evening. Shinohara is at the opposite end of the tavern towards where she usually sits, that Julius and Ixalia have seen, and she is pacing slightly back and forth. Nara, looking a little bit tired, but here, is sat nursing what looks like possibly a pot of coffee. Fortune is sat across the table from her, and the little kobold, Bang, is nowhere to be seen.
Oh.
I love Bang.
Every time I hear Bang, I just think of the Bang Energy commercial thing or whatever.
As you walk in, Shinohara and the other two look up, and there's kind of a moment of relief, and then she waves you all in. And she kind of sighs.
Does it look like... So, there's not a whole bunch of members in this tavern, right now?
No, there's a couple of others, and as you glance about, you see they're people with, like, one bar or maybe even two bars. On their tattoos. The bartender is there, but there's a couple of faces that you recognize, Julius, are here. It seems like these are like the not necessarily leadership, but senior members.
He seems relieved at that, at least.
People that maybe Shinohara considers the opinions of from time to time. Sort of gathered in little groups around different tables, kind of quietly talking amongst each other. There's maybe a dozen.
Okay. That's not too bad. It's probably more than he expects to still be around, honestly. But he'll kind of just like... He'll look at Julius disguised Nagi and just say, we can drop it in here.
God, it's so weird seeing my voice come from your voice come from my body, and then she'll turn back into Nagi.
Yeah. Same, actually. It's weird having a child in my body. And he's gonna go back to Julius, the Julius. The original.
Nara kind of glances over and she's like, smart. And then she looks back down into her coffee.
I had to let my boy in, I'm sorry.
Simply
Seems
like
like
as a boy.
It seems like Shinohara has pulled up a table next to her usual table and has populated chairs for everybody.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And she sits down at the head of it, and Ayami moves to sit down at her side. There is one empty chair, probably for Bang, although, again, he is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. Which side did you settle on? Left or Shinohara's left or right?
Right side.
Okay, interesting. Asta makes a silent note of that.
Julius is probably gonna sit close to Shinohara.
Yeah.
If he can.
Fortune has taken the other seat next to her, but you can sit next to Fortune.
Yeah, that's fine. Julius likes Fortune, that's fine.
And you all take a seat.
Yeah, Asta's definitely gonna sit.
There is what looks like an empty shot glass in front of Shinohara.
Also, for some reason, I can't get my voice to up pitch right now, but Asta is kind of playing. Also, Parker, I'm gonna PM very quickly with regards to how Asta's dealing with this.
Get out of my computer! What are you doing? Sorry, he's being bastard. I'm so sorry. Hey!
Miami also has her eyes on the front door, the way they're sitting.
Okay.
Scooped my boy.
Boy is
Oh,
stupid.
boy.
Boy is scooped.
Boy.
I don't think he'll let me show you. Yeah, nope.
I love his little gray nose.
He's very cute. Right, Lance? Anyways, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're good. So is anyone gonna say anything, or is Shinohara just gonna stare at the table and dissociate for the next
Yeah.
10 minutes?
Nagi's gonna say.
so-
Nagi's gonna say. So you know what's going on then?
She sighs and she like pinches the bridge of her nose and she was like, I didn't want to bring you guys into this. It's not important to Julius, not really, I don't think.
I think
They threatened him. I think it's important to Julius.
Well, yes, now, but at the time she
What's
lets out a
happened?
breath.
I had meant to come to you today, but this has kind of expedited things. What's going on?
She nods. You remember your friend, and she motions towards Ixalia, who I think has been shifted back into Ixalia now. Met him yesterday, but you remember I mentioned we had a little kobold friend of ours?
His name was Bang, wasn't it?
Yes.
The ex-devils.
Ex-skull.
Or skulls, excuse me. Julius would have said the correct thing, I'm so sorry. We've just been on
It's alright.
skulls for a while. Or devils, damn it.
Yeah. Ex-skull. He came to us after escaping a processing plant for one of their particular little combinations. Drug trade.
Right.
The devils want their hands on him because he knows a little bit more about what the skulls are processing. And we've said no.
So the devils are trying to get him back from me. And so they've
Who nods?
probably been threatening them?
All of us, as it goes along, I was hoping we'd have more time before they found out you were back and alive, but here we are.
I got a little information about, I guess, the fact that they had been tipped off to us already. Either somebody here, he kind of like looks over his shoulder a little bit, blabbered when I came in. No, look, I'm just saying it because I can. You know how it is.
No,
But-
I know.
You know they can get excitable. Anyways, I may have had too loud of an entrance, and it, rippled to where it shouldn't belong.
She's like tapping her finger on the table.
Are you sure that it's no one here who mentioned that Julius is back? Because up till yesterday, when we talked to a certain person, and when we discovered that and then we shortly after talking to them, we discovered that the devils are following us. We were kind of quiet and weren't really making ourselves known.
People in this
So-
bar right now are the good ones.
No, not here right now. I mean, just in general. Can you be sure of that, or
I mean, no.
there is their explanation. They could have put. There are spells you can do on the threshold of a place to let you know the comings and goings.
If someone's charming this place, I'd know.
what about Julius's place?
I meant
I sort of did a thorough sweep. I didn't do any detect magic, but I know my house pretty well.
I don't know why everyone thought you were dead.
I don't know. And I mean, if we, I guess, doubted everyone here, that wouldn't be That would just be counterproductive. We need to have some faith in our people. And he kind of like looks over at the rest of you, like they're idiots, but there are idiots.
No offense, but the moment you walked back into town, I knew it was a ticking clock before they realized you were alive.
I mean, me too, but I hoped that my disguising would help, and staying relatively low, I figured I'd have at least 4 days. This has not been 4 days, and I'm kind of pissed off about it. I just wanted a couple of days to talk to you. I don't...
So what do we do now?
Well, we've moved Bang again.
Alright.
But what do we do?
I don't know. You can stay in the house, that's a power move.
It's my fucking house.
I mean, we do need you to be more. We need. No, I summed it up pretty well last night. We need you to be fairly public so they don't disappear you, but not so much that.
Look, if I don't have to leave my house, I don't want to. It's not safe. But we can make
If you
it
start
safe.
moving... Yeah, if you start moving public now.
I don't know. That's just, it's expedited things. I don't know how to... This is not the place I wanted to move at.
It doesn't change our plans. It means that someone needs to be a spotter with you. Because we weren't planning on you being very public for what we're doing anyway. At least not till
Yeah.
more of the time.
I don't plan stepping into the limelight until everything's kind of been situated, so... We just need to keep going as we have been, I think. Stick to what we've had... We talked about.
I doubt, if it makes you feel better, I doubt you're a primary target.
Yeah, well... Never mind, I'm not going to say that. That's wishful thinking. I just hope I haven't made it worse for all of you.
Kind of bitterly smiles and she goes, no. No, it was always shit.
I just brought the fucking smell with me, didn't I? Fuck.
You were gonna say something, Alex?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I mean, you know, kind of hard for things to get worse. And listen, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I won't pretend to speak for everyone else here. But you know, I'll help you out. If this is something that's going to affect Julius, even if he's not the primary target, it's still worth helping everyone involved.
Fortune, who has kind of got one hand on his, like his face in his hand, and he's like, add one to the soldier count.
Oh, I'm not a soldier.
It was a joke, man.
Julius just
Cool.
Julius mimics Fortune, but he does like the two hands on his cheeks and he says, "Aww."
Oh, fuck you, man.
It was directed at Alex, but he would do it to Fortune too, just to fucking rile him up.
I mean, the house is probably our best bet because we know it well enough that we can.
We could always do what we've done on the road, Aster, which is Granny's hut.
I was
Damn
just
it.
about to suggest that, dear.
I can't even sleep in my own fucking bed. I spend one day in the studio, and now I've gotta go and fucking sleep in the bubble again. This is... God damn it.
We can work it out, dear. We'll find a way for you to still be comfortable.
There's also something I might be able to do. You're not gonna like it though.
You talking to me, Aster?
Yeah. There's a magical trap that I've learned that I know how to set up.
Okay. Well, shoot, Hotshot. What is it? Oop.
It explodes a little.
No!
I paint. It's not an actual explosion. It's a magical, and the way I was taught it only affects creatures. It doesn't affect the space around.
I rescind my no! As long as you're, certain of that, because that was an expensive build, I will say. I don't want you to ruin my house. If it's safety versus my property, I would rather risk my safety.
Dear.
I can't help you. I'm a material man a little.
I know you love your house, dear, but please.
You know, you can't live in your house anymore if you're dead.
I wasn't going to say it like that, Nagi, but very true, yes.
It is true, however, if I'm dead, then I don't have to worry about it.
Then Ohara pours herself another shot of sake.
Yes, dear.
Julius just kind of like looks over, like, grabby hands.
She passes over the bottle.
Yeah! He's gonna have just a little bit.
Material goods can be replaced and repaired a lot easier than lives, dear.
Money can be exchanged for good and services.
Yes, that's exactly what my point was, dear.
Is that it means if I do that, I won't have the ability to bring anyone back. I'll have to use the diamonds I would use for that for this spell.
Hold
We
on.
can go get more diamonds.
Alex has diamonds, right?
You don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
You don't know about that.
Non-canon. Out of character.
No, only Granny and Alex know Alex has diamonds, and even if you did know, Alex wouldn't give them to you. So.
God.
Nara, who is sipping her coffee, goes, "There are a lot of magic shops in town. Diamonds are not hard."
I just
Yeah.
don't know if we have that cash. That's my concern.
Yeah, what do I even have? And you can't like Jules' purse. I kind of have enough for a 300. You need like 300 gold for that, right?
For what?
A diamond for whatever it is that brings people back. I don't
For-
really.
For Revivify?
Whatever
No,
Aster's
don't worry
talking about.
Don't worry
For
about it.
For the wood spell I'm doing, I need incense and powdered diamond worth at least 200.
Oh, that's a lot.
Well, maybe instead of using the Revivify worth of diamonds, you just go buy 200 worth of diamonds.
Yeah. It's just that I don't have the money for.
You could probably pull it.
I have some.
I have a little bit,
Yeah.
but I
We
Yeah,
can We can pull together, right? It's not like that's hard. I mean, if we don't have 200 between us, we have royally messed
Yeah.
up our spending.
Yeah.
I mean, I can cover about 50 on my own. It's just I don't quite have that last bit. But that would basically be we set up where we find a room that we're putting the bubble up in, and I set the trap at an entrance point.
How much do
Can
you
you-
have total, Aster?
I do have a
What's that?
question about this plan, Aster. Oh, after you, Alex.
How much do you have total? Is it just 60?
I have 190, but I prefer to keep some safe as a slush.
Oh, okay.
Just in
Don't
case-
worry about the money. I have 364 gold.
Oh. Cool, okay.
Yeah, I'd offer more, but I spent most of mine on this, and she'll point to the obnoxious bag of holding.
Yeah, I didn't really spend any of mine aside from the horses and cart that we bought. Actually, me. I bought that, actually.
And he didn't even name them.
I have been thinking about it, and I think they should choose their own names. I mean, it's rude to name. He's just stalling.
Mhm.
Duly noted. We'll get someone who can talk to the horse to ask him his name.
Right.
Who knows? Who knows? But if I'm gonna do that, we need to figure out an area where we can basically force either a choke point or we need to be able to cast the spell twice, which isn't gonna be pleasant. It'll last until it either detonates or until I dispel it.
Okay, I was going to ask if, for any reason we needed to go past that point, if it had to be detonated or not. Okay,
I can set a password.
because I was curious about that. Because I don't think any of us should get attacked by that. That would be unfortunate.
I can put a password, and that will also protect, at the very least, Shinohara and...
I do have a question, Parker. Are there any rooms in my house that don't have windows? I think it's like just the gallery, isn't it? Or something else?
It's just the gallery, yeah.
I mean, if securing an area is, something we should be doing, isn't there a wizard spell that, tells you when people leave and come and go from an area?
Yes, alarmed, yeah.
If you don't have that, we could buy that for you, Granny, and it might be useful.
I don't know if I have it or not. I don't think I do, but I can't check my sheet right now, so.
I can check right now. Hold on.
Thank you.
Pretty sure you don't, because you used your spells for something else, I think.
Character sheet spells. No, do not have alarm.
Well, if you think that would be the better solution, then I'd be happy to learn it, dear. It might take me a few hours, but I can manage it, certainly. If we can get a scroll.
Yeah, I think between Alex's idea and the alarm spell, I think we could secure an area fairly easily.
I have an idea.
Yeah?
It's a good
Just,
one.
No, out of character, I forgot what Alex said.
Oh no!
Oh
What'd he say?
I was... Because Aster had suggested Glyph of Warding.
What did Alex say?
I don't
Was it
know,
asked-
buddy.
Was it Aster?
Wait, Jamie, did you mix up Alex and Aster?
no.
What did I say?
I think it was how we're gonna fund.
Okay.
Okay, I remember that. I was like, Alex didn't suggest anything.
God.
Okay, sorry, I'm good, sorry.
Because I don't think I mentioned Alex or Aster in that just now.
You did, but
Oh,
You said Alex.
We can move along.
okay.
The one thing I'm not sure of. It
One
is a
thing.
fairly big bang. It's
Oh, then maybe not.
theoretically, based on what I've seen about how the bubble works, it should shield us from it, but I'm not certain.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable with big things, small area.
Yeah.
Irene, you know magic doesn't pass through the bubble.
Irene will say, well, magic doesn't pass through the dome at all, dear.
I alert people.
Is it a noisy sort of a thing, dear?
I mean, if I'm setting it up, I will want it to be loud so that it wakes us if someone...
Fair enough, yes.
But my concern is it's about... There's a spell I've seen some mages cast where they detonate and everything in an area becomes fire for a moment.
That doesn't sound very fun.
Julius makes a face.
All this...
It's about that size. It will not be fire, I promise.
Maybe Nagi's
Yes.
idea of an alarm spell for Grandma is a good idea.
Well, I'm happy for the excuse to go shopping, dear. Not sure how much it'll cost. I might have to see how my funds are doing, but
I can also help with that.
Yeah.
I have
Thank
about
you, Philip.
150 left. Yeah.
Considering that this is for the safety of my house, I will probably chip in with this as well.
Oh, that's so sweet of you, dear. Well, I'm happy to go do that whenever, but it will take me, a little bit of time to learn it. So I'd like to, if we're going to rely on that, I ought to go shopping sooner rather than later, you know.
Okay. I do have some other things to ask, particularly you two, and he's going to turn to Shinohara and Fortune.
Ask away, kid, Fortune says.
Asta just grins, and it's a little bit sardonic. I want to figure out the best ways to do a propaganda campaign against a certain motherfucker.
They look at each other, and then they look at Nora. And Nora shrugs.
No, just slightly in on this.
And Fortune kind of leans forward, and he goes, "What kind?" He seems completely unfazed with the fact that you're 15.
Good. Ruin our reputation and standing. Basically want him to come back to an absolute disaster. Julius. How scorched earth do you want to go on with this?
What do you mean?
With Walsh.
Fortune, who has started to think he's biting one of his nails, and he calms down on his finger. He's like, oh, wait, hold on, temple walls.
Me and that asshole have a complicated history, Fortune.
Yeah, no, I remember that. I didn't know we'd be going straight for him. Okay.
He's keeping people I love hostage, basically. I can't really ignore that.
I Ideally, I want the situation he comes back to be a hot mess. It doesn't necessarily have to be at him, but I want to reduce collateral as much as possible.
I mean, if we can lock him up and he can never get out, I wouldn't mind that. But I think he deserves to be wiped from the face of this earth.
He's like rubbing at his temples and he's like, I don't know what power you think we have, but we do not have take down Thomas Walsh power.
No, but you
You're-
have a much better knowledge of where gossip can come from and where it best goes from. I don't know this city.
I will say, Aster, I don't really want them picking their noses into the Walsh business necessarily, but rumors would be wonderful. Any sort
That's
of...
all this is. That's why I'm asking of them is rumors and where do we go to best spread this shit. Okay? There's enough on that plate without getting involved in.
Fortune and
Truly.
Nara kind of look at each other. And they look up at Shinohara. And Shinohara looks at you, Julius. And there is a long moment. She's thinking.
I'm not gonna make you be involved with this. At least not the Walsh business. I only... You don't even need to help. If you think it's too much of a risk and you don't want to risk it, I understand. But I can't... I've ignored my problems too often.
Oh, she says. It'll look weird if none of us are talking about Walsh and there's rumors flying, but that's as much as we can do.
Okay.
I don't want to ask anything else of that.
And she looks at Fortune and she nods and Fortune sighs. Well, you want to get into the upper crust, you'll have to go into the Twilight District somewhere. Probably your best bets might be a theater, coffee shop. Though if you're going for lower class, working class, Northtown's your bet. You get the right ears in the right workhouses.
Any thoughts on a place to start?
He sort of bites his lip a little bit. Northtown doesn't exist in Horitari, that's Hoxan. He meant the Western Hills.
Yeah! It's like Northtown.
I was staring at the Hoxan map going, what the fuck? Where's the Twilight District?
Oh god.
Well, which one do you want? Or do you want both?
I feel like the upper class would probably be the... Well...
Both have value, because that's... We can somewhat split our attention.
I feel like sowing a sort of distrust in the lower class and the upper class having their maybe some sort of reason to be personal about it. Because you know how
Okay.
the uppity ones get. They, if anything involves them and it inconveniences them, they'll raise hell.
You good there, Not?
Sorry. I just...
Well,
I-
there's already some dissent with him in the lower classes. Exalia, Julius, I'm going to be borrowing both you and Exalia to craft exactly what we're spreading.
Sure.
You know the and I think X might be very creative about it.
Yes, Ix has many ideas.
I think as far as ruining his day when he gets back,
If the lower caste people that are there to see him when he gets here just start booing at him, I think that would ruin his day quite a bit.
You're very funny.
But he also clearly has a propaganda piece in mind. So I honestly think that if possible, we need to try and hit both. Because we need...
It would give us more chance of success to do both, I think.
It spreads us a bit more thin, but that's okay. We have a couple of options on how we want to approach this.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to... Is there a place students tend to gather?
Let me go grab my notebook. This is me, Parker, not Fortune.
It's gonna be college time. Or whatever the hell it was. The whatever college thing that's there, I forget now. Dang it.
Sorry,
Spellcaster.
God won't let me rest last session because we were feeling very badly, and we finally just scrolled down at Sonic
God, that's amazing. Because I don't remember who was asking about what that was.
That was me.
Writing on that with a Mac trackpad had interesting results.
Yeah, that's really funny because it looks like it's supposed to be like Enderman speak or something. It's just weird.
God won't let me rest.
Amazing.
Via trackpad. Okay.
That
I
information.
beg you, what the absolute fuck does this say?
That's true, yeah.
Gob.
Oh, where are my arcane units?
Oh no. Okay, I need to. I will be right back. I need to go pee very badly.
Okay. We're like desperately searching my
Arcanium Pog.
trying to remember if there's an arcane. I think there's an arcane. Which one it is though? Here we go.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
You're welcome, PK.
Who said someone was gonna be back? Was it not?
It was
Ren.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Sorry, we started laughing at The Great Gatsby.
You're good. The Great Gatsby hit fucking public domain.
Let's go.
Let's go!
I
Oh,
have
no.
my video notes.
Arcanium.
I realized I had my wrong notebook in front of me.
That would do it. That would do it.
And I had to go fucking looking for the Arcanium nonsense.
Sorry.
No, you're good. It was my fault for having the wrong notebook.
Arcanium.
There's holy hours. Back notes. And then there's the devil's notes. As soon as Ren gets back, we'll continue. I just want Julius here.
Yep.
I figured that's valid.
It is. I also love Fortunes of Media. What the fuck?
Did I miss anything while I was in the
Nope. Me desperately going through my notebook.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's valid.
Fortune goes, well, the Arcanium School of Enchantment is here. And there's a couple of other
Huh.
smaller colleges.
Is there a place students that you know of that's kind of a student spot that isn't on campus? I mean, there are
Coffee
public
house.
access.
Coffee houses,
Like
right? That's where students gather, I think.
Coffee houses or taverns, depending on the time of day.
Okay.
The Arcadian's up in the smoke. Nope, the smoke way is not what I want. The Arcanium is in the lower part of the Twilight District underneath Copper Road.
Okay. I mean, it might not hurt to go there anyway. So... Nagi, they might have some information on what we saw the other day.
Out of character, what information did we see the other day?
About us.
You
But
cut out
Aster
what?
doesn't know what Fortune knows.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
The fact that they were afflicted by something transmutation that...
I mean, yeah, that's possible. We could always ask. But there's a lot of... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Like, at least... starting to check a single file. It's their name. At least with Sunny, I know that there was a lot of transmutated magic out there. So it could be anything, really.
But it's worth at least pursuing. And we can eliminate a decent amount of it because my capability couldn't make a dent in it. My magic couldn't. So we can eliminate a lot of the lower level, the lower. Anyway, that's because students gossip if something is interesting enough.
I'd imagine everyone gossips if things are interesting enough.
Yeah, but students, if you tell certain students something, it will spread throughout the entire campus within.
Just kind of shrugs.
And does kind of clear his throat. If you want the upper classes, you'll want to start at the Cherry Blossom Theater. Lower classes, you'll probably want the Mashiro Textile Complex.
So, sorry, say that name again?
The Mashiro Textile Complex.
Okay.
Start passing the word around here in Glass Park once you come up with what you want the word to be.
I'd intended for today to be some digging into opinion and things we could exacerbate, but I think that's gotten.
What opinion you need?
General people's thoughts on Walsh,
Any
I know
possible
that-
existing rumors that exist.
He kind of thinks for a second, he shrugs. We're a little bit too far out of Twilight for that.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do digging in Twilight, but we need to figure out who's staying and who's going.
Shinohara's like, well, my people are staying here.
Absolutely. I'm not. It's not worth cooking the bear for something that's only. No, I was talking about of the group of the 7 of us.
He nods, and Ixalia speaks up to remind you all that Granny needed to go shopping at least.
Yes.
Granny does need to go shopping. This is true.
Yeah. Granny needs to go shopping or else.
Do be shopping.
Asta kind of nods and, okay, I think that's all for now. We'll arrange a way to let you guys know what. What's going.
Fortune nods.
We do it right, we'll probably hear about it before we get in contact with you.
Fortune nods.
Shopping.
So, who's going shopping and who's going elsewhere?
Nagi would be decent in both scenarios, so she's gonna help Granny with shopping. Wants to help Granny with shopping, but she's also highly charismatic, very sneaky, and yeah.
Julius is gonna give Granny 200 of his gold.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Oh damn.
I
To
can't
take with.
write that down on my sheet right now, so I'm trusting
Mhm.
Parker to do that. But,
Yeah.
okay. Granny will thank him as is appropriate.
Julius will just give it to you and just say, don't spend it all in one place unless you have to.
I do intend to only go to the one store, dear, so if I, it might be a little bit difficult, but I'll use my own money first, I promise.
Alright.
But yes, shopping alone is a little inconvenient when you can't reach anything on the higher shelves, so I will need at least somebody a little bit taller to accompany me.
I can help.
Thank you, Alex.
I'd love to come with.
Yeah, Julius
quite
just
the
like
shopping
gestures
duo now,
to
aren't
him.
I'm very tall.
You are very tall, dear. It's wonderful.
You're a big man. Gives you
I
a thumbs
am?
up. Yeah.
Alex gives a thumbs up in return.
Oh man. God.
Anybody
yeah.
else for shopping, or just Alex and Granny?
Anyone else be shopping?
If Julius
Then we'll
agrees to
go,
the-
but
and Asta will go with us as well, but particularly now that he is certain that the dome will protect from the splash effect.
Good afternoon, girl. Let's go shopping.
So
Good afternoon,
most of
girl.
people going shopping then, or
It seems like everyone wants to go shopping.
yeah, okay, Nagi will just go shopping with everyone then.
I mean, wait,
Oh, Julius
Nin
wasn't
will
going.
stay with
Julius-
Julius if someone needs to.
Julius is probably gonna stay. Because
Yeah.
he wanted to talk to Shinohara. Was Nin gonna try and stay?
If you don't kick her out, then yeah.
Then can stay.
He...
If he gently suggests that she should go shopping, she'll go shopping.
Yeah, he might do that, because he did want to
Okay.
have talks with Shinohara. Like, just them together. That was his plan today, but that got thrown out the window because of Hawk mischief.
Hawk mischief, my new favorite description.
Hawk
That
murder!
hawk sure did do mischief. No.
It sure got mischief done to it.
That hawk sure did got mischief done to it.
Oh dear.
If Julius is
That's what
willing
we're
to let
calling
Asta
it.
reporting plan, he will.
What was that?
If Julius is willing to let Asta go ahead with the glyph of warding.
As long as it won't break my
Wait.
possessions. I guess.
I will limit collateral damage.
Limit. I don't like the fact that you said limit. I don't... Because if we're gonna be doing a place in my house, the only one without a window that people would have to go through one place is my gallery, and if my gallery is messed up, that is a lot of priceless artifacts just ruined, Aster.
Julius.
You don't understand. It's important.
No, I think I do. My dad was a porter.
That's not the same. You don't understand, Aster.
You poured your heart into those works, and if they get destroyed, you will be heartbroken because
They aren't what I created. And it's not that I poured my heart into it or anything like that. That's not what the gallery is.
I am almost certain, and the only reason I am not telling you I am certain, is that I allow room for fuck-ups. I am almost certain that it will not damage anything but creatures, and we will be safe from it because of Irene's dome, okay? And anything that you are severely worried about, we can move into a safe radius. I can pace the zone it'll affect, okay? And we can move things before I place it.
Julius is just gonna sigh a little and, rub his, in between his eyebrows for a minute. Stare at the table and just put up a hand and just say, I can find a temporary place to put the paintings. But
okay.
They need to be... I mean, he just shakes his head a little bit.
Okay.
So, everyone else but Julius is going shopping?
Yeah.
Alright. You are all let outside. You are told you are given a temporary passcode to be let back into the tavern.
What's the passcode?
You.
What?
I think he said fuck you.
Yeah. It's not fuck you.
Fuck you!
That's a good passcode. I like that passcode.
Yeah, but just say if that's the passcode, anyone can fucking use it.
Yeah.
Someone is burning something in the kitchen. Oh, it smells bad.
That's unfortunate.
Making our way to the shopping places.
Mm-hmm. Magic
Grenadine
shop.
and orange. That's your passcode because I'm staring at my bottles of grenadine and orange.
Alright, that'll do.
Grenadine. Okay.
Does grenadine exist in Nigeria? It does now.
It does now. Thanks, world building.
We'll go shopping.
Shopping.
Shopping!
Let's go shopping first. And as such, we will turn on the Twilight District music again.
Yay!
So, for magic shops, you're gonna be wanting to go to the Twilight District.
Then
Yeah,
to the Twilight District we shall go.
Pretty much your only option, and Nara will tell you that.
Nara, my beloved.
There is so the magic shops are actually down closer to where the Arcanium is. It seems like they've set themselves up there because wizarding
Incredible.
students.
Imagine.
And as you turn, you walk up around. I assume you're all walking up and around the harbor corridor. Y'all don't want to go straight into Devil's territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not. I'm just guessing.
No, walking right through Devil's territory, yelling out, "Yeah, the Devils suck ass."
God.
Who do they ain't shit. Like,
You can't kill me.
Imagine being a devil. Sucks to suck.
Couldn't be me. They're not as swag.
The devils simply aren't swag.
God, no.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Never make me listen to that again. So you head up and around the harbor quarter, and you pass beside the temple over here this way, and head across to this street here, the main inroad from the Copper Road district.
As we go to the temple,
Mhm.
can I see if my little addition? Well, I guess it's not an addition as much as a.
It seems to have gone unnoticed for now,
Okay.
or at least unremoved.
Yeah. Okay.
And as you cross the actual Copper Road itself, because it doesn't stop being called the Copper Road after it leaves the district, the Twilight District changes a little bit. It still very much looks the same, but as you walk further into that section of the Twilight District, the air seems to grow oddly electric. As if there's this current of energy running through it. It's not electricity, but it is the feeling of so much magic in the air, hanging, safely dispersed enough that it is not dangerous, but clearly there is a lot done in this section of the city if it is this saturated through. And as you start to walk further into it, you start to see, you can see what at one point was just one of the what you thought was maybe just one of the taller buildings in this section of the Twilight District is a spire that rises straight up into the air, of which there are these sort of, God, I forgot, I closed my notebook too soon. These blue-colored banners hanging off the edges of it, with what looks like an arcane symbol emblazoned on it.
But did you say that blue?
They're light blue, yes.
Huh. Interesting.
Yes, they should be. No, they should be fucking green! Light green! Fuck!
That's why I was confused. It was like blue is
My
chaos.
notes are wrong! What the fuck is wrong with me? It's a light green. It's a light green with a arcane symbol stitched into it in a sort of white color.
Okay.
That is probably one of probably many buildings attached to the Arcanium of Enchantment here in Horitari. And as you get closer to that direction, you can kind of see there are a couple other buildings scattered around that are centered around the spire that have those banners hanging off windows or off of ledges of the roof. in any sorts of ways that seem to denote what buildings are perhaps associated with the school, which ones are not. Sprinkled amongst these buildings, there are coffee shops, there are taverns, there are tailor shops. It's like its own little economy in this little section of town. And for the first time in the city, you find your first sets of magic shops.
Yay! Magic shop.
The first one you come across looks pretty stately, looks pretty official. And then, hold on, I am pulling up fantasy name generators.
Name generators, my beloved.
This one is called the Brass Nymph. And it has one of the banners kind of plastered up in one of the windows. Across the street is a much different magic shop. It looks a little more ramshackle, a little more rundown, a little more used bookstore to the Barnes & Noble, called the Bleeding Imp. Right across the street from each other.
I love them.
You kind of get the vibe that one of them is like officially connected to the school and has like a deal and like probably is meant to serve students. The other one seems to be a little less official, but probably might be a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, Irene has worked at at a university library for long enough to know that campus bookstores are bullshit, so she's leading the party directly into the more rundown, ramshackle looking one.
Into the Bleeding Imps?
Yep, exactly.
Fair enough. Unlike the last the Immortal Fawn that you were in Haxan, this very much I am picturing a store in downtown Columbus called the Book Loft, which I don't know if Sarah knows what I'm talking about. And I'm trying to figure out how to describe this store. It is, you walk in and the first room you come into is absolutely tiny. And it is plastered wall to wall with books. And then on one of the pillars there is an arrow that points you towards a way around the shelves that has a list of other offerings. And as you sort of explore the shop, you realize it is basically a one-way walk through these tiny, tiny little rooms that are stacked floor to ceiling with as many things as they can possibly fit.
God.
This is a good vibe. Irene likes this vibe.
This is a real bookstore in downtown Columbus.
Incredible. Ideal.
Well, I have to ask, what are the magic juice levels feeling like at this point?
Pretty buzzy.
Ambient magic juice. Good phrase. Thank you, Joe.
I think Astus kind of looks like he's considering something before just shaking his head and following the lead.
Irene looks delighted by everything that's going on right now, just for the record. She's very much enjoying this place, but she also knows she can't reach most of this stuff without toppling things over, so she's fully reliant on Alex to get shit, which is fine.
Alex is at her whims.
Excellent.
Nagi's going to check the list of other offerings that aren't books. What do they offer that aren't books?
There are spell scrolls, there are spell components, there are spell component kits, sort of like you had seen in the Immortal Fawn, where people have already like assembled like the proper amount of things for like Find Familiar and shit like that.
If I have a look in the kits, would there be glyph of warding kits? So would that just be, or would I have
no,
to?
that's a little bit too expensive and pricey to just kind of leave out on the floor in that way, because you notice that until you make it into the last room, there are no staff like at all. You can't find anybody.
And
And
this place does not offer magic items, correct?
it offers some magic foci.
Okay.
And it has a very small collection of like dictation quills and notebooks that like are like made that look like they're about an inch, but when you flip them open, seem to have a lot more pages in them than what would be seen on the outside. But there's not like magic items, especially not like adventuring magic items.
Okay. Just curious.
Irene is telling some kind of anecdote about how, taking her kids school shopping or something. She's got some anecdote for this situation that she's telling that I don't have. And she's gonna try and find someone who can direct her to the appropriate. What am I getting? What am I buying? Alarm? I'm buying alarm.
Yeah. Again, there are no fucking staff, and for a minute you're like, is this place closed? The front door was open. But in the very last room, there is a small checkout table, like a small checkout little counter. There are what look like the very expensive spell components, so stuff like your diamonds, your upper class sapphires and rubies, stuff like that, like ivory carved things and shit. Powdered gems on one wall, and then there are spell scrolls placed again in one of these shelves. They are stacked like so that like what you can grab is like the small side, and they're all rolled up, and they're like just fucking piled.
Excellent. Ideal.
You have to dig around before you find a proper alarm spell for a minute. But you find one listed for about 65 GP.
And that seems perfectly reasonable. I also need stuff. I don't know what level alarm is. I don't know anything.
It is just a copper wire. You could have picked up a copper wire and like 2 rooms past.
No, I mean not stuff for stuff for spell book.
That is also in this room.
Okay.
It is not your school. Alarm is not an illusion spell. Which means it will take you the full time and cost.
I don't know what that is, but I trust you to know because I can't look it up right now.
50 GP and an hour.
Sounds
yes, that would be correct. 2 hours technically. 2 hours per spell level.
I thought it was 1 hour per spell level.
Nope.
It's 1 hour.
Oh no, that's if you're that's right. If you're in school.
So that would be 165 if you're not getting anything else.
Is that the math? 165.
Yeah, that's the current price of the spell scroll plus the spell book components equipment.
Wait,
That's
65 plus 50?
It's a
first level.
Spell? Oh, so
It's a first level
so
spell.
115.
Yeah, 115.
115, right. My brain was telling me 115, my mouth was saying 165.
That is extremely fair and valid. That is all Irene will purchase at the moment then.
Alright, you are down to 193 GP.
And some of this needs to go back to Julius.
Yeah.
Ask about mixed powdered diamonds and incense for?
The worker at the counter kind of motions you towards the wall.
Yep.
Where you are able to collect the proper amount of things that you desire.
I wasn't sure if it was one of those, like, you measure it out yourself or you.
Yep, measure it out yourself, they'll weigh it.
Okay.
Like those fucking little, like, rock boxes at museums where you fill them in with the little, like, black velvet bags. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep, exactly like
That makes me so fucking happy.
Oh my
It-
god.
it-
Now, I don't know. Because someone said they were going to cover him the extra 40 to buy them.
Well, Irene can, if you want. It's Julius's money.
Do it.
Julius was willing to pitch in, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Irene will toss him the 40 from that.
You were down to 153, Irene.
Hog.
Hey, come on.
And that, unless anyone wants anything else, that can be your little shopping trip.
Buy Julius a trinket.
Alex wants something, but he doesn't know what he wants. He's just having like the thing where you go to a store and you're like, "Oh, I should probably buy something," but he doesn't know what to buy.
Oh.
That exact feeling. That's so fucking valid.
Hold on.
Vibe.
Stuff
Let me
makes
look
Ringo
at-
burr.
Give me a sec to look at spells, because I don't actually know. I have some stuff prepared that may need, like, things that I don't have.
Components you don't have?
Nothing that's prepared. Okay, Alex is literally just that cool.
Sarah, now that you're off mute, do you know what I'm talking about when I talk about the book loft in downtown Columbus?
I've never been there before.
Fair enough. This
Awesome.
entire shop is inspired by the book loft. You should
Oh
go
wait,
sometime.
Alex is gonna grab a wire for sending.
5 silver.
Awesome. That's easy.
Purchase.
Alex can do sending now.
The book loft is literally 100 tiny rooms of books.
Damn. I didn't even know this place existed.
Yeah, it's out by Planks on Parsons, if you know where that is.
Huh. Is it? It's not new, I'm guessing.
It's very old.
Okay. Yeah, I've just never been
forget
there.
that you guys like live near each other when Park is at home, and it's very
That's weird.
disconcerting to hear these conversations.
Yeah, it's down in German Village.
Huh. I mean, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like the kind of place that would be in German Village.
Columbus, Ohio, facts.
Columbus isn't real. It can't hurt you.
You're right.
Does not exist.
It's true. It's all corn.
Corn.
It's just
We just have very active imaginations in Ohio. We've imagined the whole city.
Oh my god.
And you are able to leave the bleeding imp out the one exit door they have.
Incredible.
Presumably, the Bleeding Imp has, like, a good way of dealing with fire protection?
Presumably.
Wow.
But this is also the book loft, and I don't know if they know how to do fire protection.
Yeah, I was listening to that, and I'm just progressively alarmed.
I'm trying to see if I can't find a photo of the inside of the book loft so you can see what the fuck I am talking about.
Book loft. Loft with books. Book loft.
Book loft. They put books in that loft.
That loft has some books.
It's got some books in that
Loft.
loft.
Sure can. Look.
Oh, they lofted those books, huh?
That is what the entirety of this place looks like.
Oh,
This makes me feel
Yeah,
bad.
I've
looking
never
at
been
it.
They
here.
put books in that loft.
oh, that's amazing. I can only imagine how nice it feels to be in that. Just, oh.
Mhm.
That visual can stimulus.
Oh,
Don't look at
and
the
it's
screen,
got
PK. This is
I'm
not for
turning
you.
my screen off.
it also has the weird carpet that like I've seen in schools before, so that's wonderful. Oh, I like it.
Like every old bookstore I've been in has that same old carpet. It feels like.
It's like a discount carpet or something they can buy in bulk.
If for any reason any of you come to Ohio, Columbus with me, I'll take you to the book loft.
Yes.
So anyway,
Ohio. Oh, sorry.
and you're out in the Twilight District, not too far from the Arcanian. And we're gonna jump over to Julius real quick.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
You're kind of vibing in the tavern. Nara at some point kind of like slips off to go upstairs, possibly to go take a little nap, or maybe just, vibe alone for a little bit because she was up very, very late. She did not go to bed after she left you guys.
Yeah, oof. That makes sense. Yikes.
Fortune seems to be kind of doing the rounds and kind of letting people know kind of what's up. And you and Shinohara are alone in the corner. She pours herself another shot of sake. And I know you're not supposed to drink sake in shots, but she wants shots.
Yeah.
I'm aware that's not how you drink sake. I am aware before someone calls me out on it. But
Yep. Sometimes you just have to echo that hall. Oh no, not my hall. He'd probably kind of like let her have her shot, and then just kind of he's already drank his, and he'll kind of just like lean forward a little bit. Just he's kind of thinking a little bit about how he wants to approach this, and well, we haven't had a chance to talk very much. I mean, we've talked, but
she looks up at you and she wipes her mouth, probably from the rest of the sake. No, we haven't.
I'd like to do that. Just the two of us.
You know. That was too much, I'm sorry.
What did you end up saying?
She said, would you now?
Oh.
In a very like, oh, okay, kind of tone.
Yeah. He just kind of shrugs
was like,
a little.
That was too much, sorry.
He shrugs a little bit, and he says, no, it's warranted.
That is not the music I want. We're just going to keep the Twilight music.
I've done shit
Upstairs.
that,
Or we can stay here.
I think we can go somewhere quieter.
She'll shrug. She'll tell Fortune you and her are heading upstairs for a conversation, and Iemi, who I forgot about to this moment, will not stay down in that seat with that table.
Does she take the sake with her?
Yes.
Okay. Julius will bring, like, the little dishes with as well, instead of the shot glasses. And follow after her.
And she'll lead you into a small inn room. She doesn't sleep here, so it's not like a fancy room. It seems like they rent out the room. You remember, they rent out the rooms to, like, age kids who need it, or other poor, unfortunate travelers who don't know what's going on. And she'll shut the door behind the two of you. And she'll put the sake down on, like, the bedside table. Well, it's not really a bedside table. It's like a small little wooden slat that is right next to where the mat would unroll. And she settles down on the ground.
I'll settle down, too. Alright. So,
I ain't never seen you at a loss for words before.
look, there's so many words that want to come out, Shinohara, that I can't really say them all at once. I'm trying to sort through the ones that actually make sense. I mean, I guess I can kind of start with the recent stuff and we can work our way back to the heavier shit. Maybe?
She kind of waves a hand.
Alright. I noticed the other day when I brought the others in with me to go kind of check on Aki. You seemed a little irritated. Do you have a problem with the people that I'm with right now? I'd like to know where your head is at.
Well, when it comes to the people you're with, they seem odd. That's not in a bad way. It's just,
I mean, I wouldn't judge you if you meant it in a bad way.
I
You're
mean,
entitled to have your own opinions.
They seem fine. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
one of them's 15. One's a water ganassi.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you find that?
She kind of stumbled in, and hasn't left. Surprisingly.
Two of them don't really talk much. One of them seems real good at the shady thing. One's a big cow man.
Yeah. That was a surprise.
Like, they haven't sent up any red flags. It's just, for the life of me, I cannot figure out how you collected all of these people.
If I had an explanation for you that was better than I just happened to be traveling with them, I would give it to you, but I really don't. We kind of just met up in a flaming inn, basically, and one of them kind of sort of saved my life a little bit. It wasn't that major, don't worry about it, I just kind of got knocked out. And after that, I didn't really know where else I wanted to go right away. And so we kind of just chilled together. And I wouldn't call them all friends, but I don't dislike them. I think they're interesting.
High praise from you.
I praise people on occasion.
He rolls her eyes. If you trust them, then I'm not going to say that I trust them, but
I wouldn't expect you to. They haven't given you a reason yet. And with me, the reason was tentative. But I trust them more than anybody else I've met in the last 2-3 years. Aside from one other person, but that's a different case.
fair enough. Sounds so fucking childish when I say it out loud.
I don't mind you being a little childish, Shinohara. You know I don't hold that against you.
I guess I was just annoyed that Jules, you came home out of the dead, and it's like you don't even have time for me. It's like I'm some incidental ally.
Shinohara. He kind of like leans forward a little bit. You're my sister. You're my favorite person in this world. Why would I... Incidental ally. They're the incidental allies. What are you... No, I said I wouldn't. I'm sorry. The way I worded everything probably made it seem that way, and not spending time with you probably did too. I'm so sorry. I didn't intend for that to happen.
He just kind of rubs at her eyes a little bit, and she holds her other hand out for like this little sake dish.
Yeah. You hand her one and probably pour it for her too, since she's technically older than him.
And she kind of sips on it a little bit. I get that you have other things to do right now, and you know that I'm with you on that as much as I can be. But I guess I always imagined that if you managed to walk back in that door again, you'd be Julius of the Gilded Cage again, not Julius, son of some religious person, member of some fucking adventuring party.
He's gonna kind of... If she'll allow it, he'll like reach his hand out for her hand.
Take it.
And he'll kind of do like that, like, little bit of like a thumb rub on the hand. I'm still Julius of the Gilded Cage. That never left me. If anything,
You're not acting like it.
I'm sorry that it makes it seem that way, but... I thought I'd lost everything. I didn't think there was a Gilded Cage to come back to. I had heard that it was still around, but I didn't know anything about it. I was afraid to even reach out. What if you hadn't been here? What if Amaya found me? What if...
I get that. I do. I've been so alone, Julius.
He gives her hand a little bit of a squeeze.
I'm the only one left.
I never should have left you alone. I'm sorry. I should have done something different.
Shoulda, woulda, couldas. We should never have gone into Harbor Quarter that night. We should have waited. We should have focused on one port.
Been more cautious, all the other good shit. But I promise you, Shinohara, I'm still Julius. I still love you. You're still my sister. And I will never fucking die unless I have to. I will fight tooth and nail to come back to you. I promise. I'm not going to leave you again. Not like I did. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna make sure that you know whatever I'm doing.
You
I
are
don't want
gonna
you to-
walk out again.
I don't know. I want to stay here. But I don't know if I can.
I get laying low. I get not wanting to be here after. A single letter would have been so nice. Just something.
If I wasn't such a damn coward, I would have. Shinohara, do you know how many times I've thought about writing letters? To all of you. I did a few times, and then I just burned them. Fuck. So stupid.
Yeah, you are.
Fucking shut up.
I'm stupid too.
Oh, I love you.
Love you too, asshole.
Give me a fucking hug, damn it.
He leans over and hugs you.
Yeah, he'll hug her too.
And she pulls away, and then she finishes the little cup of sake. Next time, just don't wait 3 days before you have a chat with me privately.
Look, I would have done it sooner, but I got dragged into things.
I don't want to feel like our relationship now is just business.
No, never. Always for pleasure, you know this.
Ew.
uh, oh. We might have started as, I guess, business partners a little bit in the beginning, but like, that's... No.
It ain't been that. It ain't been that for more than 5 minutes.
No. If anything, the business was second. Family first. Always.
You're gonna pour yourself another drink.
Yeah, Julius will join her. What has been going on since I left?
Holding together the scraps of what was left. We haven't really had a big break until, bang, but then that's brought devils back on our heads.
Yeah. How did you even manage to come around him anyways? I can't imagine
You're
that
not-
was an easy
not gonna
thing to do.
You're not gonna fucking believe me.
Well, my life's been kind of wild, I might believe you. Just try me.
Came somersaulting through my bedroom window.
Oh, how? What
Here's the
led to
thing.
that?
He's never been clear on it. Trying to get a straight answer from him for anything is like trying to get a straight answer out of a chihuahua.
Oh, does he shake a lot?
Yep.
Oh no. Oh no.
He
That's unfortunate.
tends to leave explosions around.
That's gotta be interesting.
In another life, he's a fucking artificer, but
Ah. Hmm.
chihuahuas can't endure a fuck.
Chihuahuas! I love it. Okay, you've
Listen.
recruited a chihuahua with bomb tendencies. Interesting.
He also knows quite a bit about blue lightning, which is what makes him useful.
Blue lightning. Jesus.
How far out of the game have you been?
I mean, it's been like since I nearly died, Shinohara.
Alright, listen. Last couple of years, the skulls have been bringing something new to market. It's this. We're not even sure what it is. Bang was never part of the sourcing, he was just part of the processing. He knows the ladder steps and he knows how to identify it, but. Whatever this shit does, it.
This is the drug, right? The
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's like. I ain't never tried it, I ain't gonna try it, but the people who have say makes you feel like you're king of the world. Makes you feel stronger.
I assume this is extremely addictive and dangerous.
It's not been long enough to really see how addictive this shit is, but it's dangerous as hell. We've seen people who are crashing off of it just have their hearts give out.
Gods. Of course.
The devils want him. Any information they can get on this stuff, the better, I guess.
I'm sure they would do anything to profit off of people's fucking suffering. Has Bang told you anything about who he worked under or anything? Alright. Just curious. Do you know what this stuff looks like?
Well, it depends. It comes in a couple of forms, but it's got a really light blue color, hence the name.
I see. Alright. And the Golden Skulls apparently have a chokehold on this substance.
Yep. You can get it in a powder, a tablet, or an aerosol.
I see. Leave the options open. Pick your poison. Sorry, I'm just having out of character thoughts of, is this magic? Hmm. Is there anything else interesting that you haven't? You said there was new members of the cage now.
Yeah, our numbers have been going up for the first time in years. Not too many. Especially not in the city.
Right.
We've spread out to some local towns, but
What about the upper members now?
you've met them all but Bang.
Alright.
And even then, Bang is not really an upper member. He's just the one guy we know.
Mm-hmm. He's your IT guy.
If by IT you mean
Yeah.
beat it till it stops working.
Yep. He's the odd man out. Jeez. Trying to think of what else he could have talked to Shinohara about. Give me a minute. Let's see.
I'll ask you about your adventures over the last couple of years, but I'm not going to let you spill that to an NPC.
I mean, not out
Not
loud,
in
but
character,
he would
yeah.
definitely. At this point, he probably would go no holds barred for Shinohara. Tell her about the person he met and what she did for him and shit, and what they had been doing. Tell her that he did a little bit of slander on Walsh while he was at it for funsies.
He makes fun of you for being a god man now.
He'll kind of play into it a little bit and be like, I'm a holy man, I'm a changed man. Free of sin.
The day you're free of sin is the moment I stop drinking.
Here, here. He just takes a sip of his sake. Oh my god. Yeah. I think they had just have like a sibling bonding time that they deserve.
I'm surprised you're not asking about Ayemi.
I mean, he probably would at some point ask about Ayemi and be like, what's up with that? And also the beard situation, because you had mentioned that it was shorter than had been.
Ayemi, she blushes a little bit.
Aww.
And she's like, listen. Okay, Ayemi pulled me out that night in the harbor quarter.
Ooh.
Ooh, she grabbed me and pulled me out a back door.
Interesting.
He has been my bodyguard since.
He does the thing where he puts his hands on his cheeks and leans forward a little bit. So, knight in shining armor, huh?
Nope. We are not doing this.
We're
not doing this.
The little curl.
Okay, buddy, if we're gonna do this, then I get to ask. Hold on, I need to check.
Oh god. Are you gonna bring his last leg fucks?
Yeah.
God.
I'm trying to find the fucking doc you sent me.
She'll lays his last lays.
Yeah.
Who are they?
If we're gonna do this, we're gonna talk about your sex life too. Do you want to do that?
I mean, I mean, it's not updated in the last 3 years. Not that I haven't had any, but, you're out of date.
Okay, and you're out of date too, buddy, so we can either go down your list or we can go down my list too, or we cannot talk about it.
He just grins a little bit and he's like, alright, well, you have an existent sex life and you don't want to talk about it. That just tells me everything I need to know. Thank you.
If this sake weren't expensive, I'd pour it down your shirt.
That would be stinky.
What shirt?
Pray tell! It would just make me sexier, Shinohara.
Julius is tits out.
Oh my god.
We're gonna jump over to the shopping group.
What fucking shirt, Parker? Answer me that.
It's fucking jacket. I don't know.
She'll pour it over the foot.
Just pour it on the tits. Let's go.
I fucking love Shinohara and Julius so much. I'm gonna cry.
They're my beloved. Shopping group do be shopping, though.
So, you are by the Arcanium, and you could probably get to the Cherry Blossom Theater pretty quickly if you wanted to, or you can head back to the tavern.
Oh,
Gamers shopping.
we could do, like, actual plot things right now?
No, we could shop.
We could shop. We could shop is the thing.
Enough plot. Just shopping.
You could at least do some information gathering if you wanted.
We could if we wanted. We could if we
I
wanted.
just- Possibly he's gonna grab sticks as well because
Mm-hmm. Who's he grabbing again? Nagi and X?
yeah, probably Nagi and X. Because I think he's gonna make his way towards the Arcanium, regrettably.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs Nagi there to be able to do what was up with us, and X is there to see what we can gather as far as propaganda.
Anyone else want to go to the Arcanium for information gathering? What were you gonna say, PK?
Nope, thought left brain, sorry.
Oh no. The Swiss cheese brain, no.
Wait, I remembered it. Irene has a sending she'd like to send.
Okay.
But the other people can do Arcanium stuff first. I just want to do that at some point.
No, let's do the sending before you forget it.
Okay. Well, I have it written down, so it's fine. Granny is going to, while other people are like browsing, shopping, or talking about what they're going to do next, she's just going to sort of quietly step to the side and do a sending to her great-granddaughter and say, "Alright, darling, it's Granny. Oratari is lovely as usual. Any souvenir requests? Everything all right at home? I miss you so very much. Oh, my love." And then
There's a pause for a second, again, counting words. Everything's good. Glad to hear from you. You're sending again? I'm not picky on souvenirs. Be careful. See you soon.
all right, thank you.
So the Arcanium team. Aster, Nagi, and Exalia. I'll be running Exalia.
Yeah.
So the Arcanium grounds are.
Oh wait, one thing. Before we go to the Arcanium, Nagi will disguise self herself, not too much, just enough to make her look like she's a Arcanium student, like a wizarding student.
That's mostly just a change of garb.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, you probably look like you fit right in, even with it with just a bit of.
Does she want to stay a water genasi though? Just
Yeah. She
pointing
doesn't see
that one
any
out.
problem. I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, she wouldn't see any problem with that, I suppose.
Would Aston know that the Arcanium tends to have a lot of. What? Would he think it's a reasonably good bet that she wouldn't stick out too much within the Arcanium?
Make a history check.
Once my thing works. Really? You doing this?
Would you like me to roll up history?
There we go.
Well, here's the thing. She's gonna stick out. Water
Nagi?
Ganassi are not common outside of Water Ganassi lands, and this girl is like a Ganassi tiefling thing
Nagi,
with these
it might be
tattoos.
more fully tiefling and covering the tattoos.
I'm just doing the. Well, I'm already dressed like a wizard, and she flaps her long wizard robes. Tattoos are covered, and I'm not changing the way I look physically because I have reasons for that. And yeah.
Fair enough.
So the three of you head on to Arcanium grounds, and it is not like a university where it is very much like hemmed in and there's like a wall around it and you can tell where the university stops and starts. It's more that the buildings with these banners start to become more and more populated until every building surrounding you has these little banners. And you start to see signs popping up, directing you, one towards the spire, two towards admin and admissions, another one towards like the transmutation labs, etc., etc., etc.
Transmutation labs are probably gonna be where we want to go. Or if we can find access to the library.
The library is open to the public.
Okay.
In certain operating hours, and luckily, it is those operating hours because it's the middle of the day.
Yes, that's.
The library is adjacent to the spire, actually. And so in front of the spire is its little quad. In front of the spire is a little quad. In the center of which is a sort of odd building structure. There is what looks like a small little pool in the center of the quad. No bigger than maybe 5 feet across. And around the pool, which is a sort of 8-sided, like octagonal figure. On each corner, there is a little spire, probably about 6 feet tall each, and on the top of them are these like shining gems in different shades of green. In the center of the octagonal pool, there's a much taller spire, maybe about 8 feet tall, with a 8 feet tall. Two of the spires, the one in the center and the one in sort of one of the corners where their gems would be, are dark.
Okay.
As we're walking through the university, can Nagi, try and keep an ear out for students complaining about professors, just so she can pick up professors' names and stuff like that.
Make a perception check.
Yeah. Oh, damn, 9.
It's starting to get a little bit closer to lunchtime. It's like in the little bit before lunchtime, so it seems like most people are either in class or getting food. There's not many people out on the quad right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Give it like 15 minutes and there will be.
mm-hmm. One of the spires, however, has the same light green color that all of the tapestries have. And the same arcane symbol is carved into that spire, and the rest of the spires each have a symbol as well. The one in the center has its own unique symbol, like an octagon itself. But again, that one is dark. One of the corner ones is dark, and then one of the other ones, not quite opposite from the dark one, is muted, but it's not dark.
Huh.
The one that is muted is a sort of like a forest green color. The spire rises up ahead of you, and the sign on it reads that it seems to be the dean's office, as well as a couple of other high-ranking offices. In front of the spire, there's a statue of what looks like a halfling individual, sort of draped in that same light green color you've been seeing everywhere. And then the library is a sort of 3-story tall building. It looks massive from where you're sitting. That is right to the right of the spire. The doors are propped open in front.
Okay. Very quick related question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask to identify / remember which of the grains is illusion associated?
Make an Arcana check. Right. So, yeah, you're able to identify which one is illusion related. It is right next to actually the light green one you're seeing. It is sort of like a. I'm trying to figure out how to describe this shade. It's sort of like a greenish blue kind of color. Underneath of it is sort of engraved the illusion symbol, the arcane illusion symbol. And with the 18, I would let it ride that you could identify all of the symbols around the pond itself as well.
Okay.
Each
So
one
which is
seems
the
to
one
be
that's-
corresponding to a school of magic.
Yeah.
What was your
Which
question?
one is? Which one's the one that's gone dark?
The two that have gone dark, the one in the center, the octagonal symbol associated with it, is the symbol of the magic domain entirely.
Okay.
And the smaller one that's gone dark seems to be associated with the School of Necromancy.
Interesting. I think he kind of mentally notes that, possibly to ask Irene about later.
The muted one, for reference, is the transmutation symbol.
Yeah, okay, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's entirely that I asked. It doesn't.
Yeah, the light green one is associated with the enchantment symbol, and as you look around, the banners are all enchantment.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna briefly motion to Illusion 1, and that's the school that's back home. Well, back in Periapo. It's also a school of art.
Oh, that's neat. Just kind of shrugs.
Right, just nostalgia. Okay.
So you're going to the library?
Yep.
All right. What are you looking for in the library?
If we can find reference about specific spells, otherwise Astra's going to be looking for transmutation-related resources to try and see if we can figure out what it is that might be affecting us.
Okay.
Yes, there's going to be other information gathering, but this is the part that's actually Arcanium specific, is...
Roll me an investigation check.
I don't know if Nagi's much help in this. Otherwise, I'd offer help.
Nagi, I don't know if you've ever seen the inside of a library before.
Like, I'm sure she has. Also, she has -1 and does not like to read books.
Exalia is busy, sort of listening into people. Damn! Nat 20!
Nice.
Fuck me!
As apparently Astra is just like, okay, transmutation, we know
So,
where it doesn't fit.
the library itself is sort of, so the Dewey Decimal System doesn't exist. But a sort of similar, a similar standardized form of organization seems to exist here, at least. And you find the section of books that are dedicated towards transmutation magic, transmutation spells, transmutation effects, and you go towards the higher level what seems to be the higher level, like, books. There's a couple of students here, like, that kind of give you, a 15-year-old, some weird looks as you're pulling out high-end transmutation tomes. But they don't question it. They're too busy.
One of those. It's like, one of those scholarship kids.
Yeah, they're like...
One of the kids, or someone who got cursed and is trying to or someone who got cursed and is trying to fix it.
They're too busy studying. They're dying inside. They're not really going to pay you much attention. And you sort of pull these out and towards a study table. So there's a couple of things that you learn. One, that nothing that is currently under your ability to dispel with dispel magic fits the bill.
Yeah.
Which is something you've already assumed, but just to confirm.
Good to have the verification.
Secondly, there are a couple of spells, a couple of effects, a couple of recorded, like, monstrous abilities that seem to kind of fit at least the symptoms.
Yeah.
There is a sort of they mention the sleep spell, which is not transmutation. However, there are very similar sleep-like effects that can sometimes fall under like a more transmutation centric caster.
Yeah.
Especially things from the outer planes can get kind of weird. What like outer plane magic, what is transmutation and what's enchantment and what's illusion can get kinda wibbly wobbly.
Yeah.
So there is some, like, it could there are a couple of eldritch beings that might have an effect like this. There are a couple of PMP spells that can kind of do something like that. Specifically within transmutation, you are looking for Sorry, I am looking at my own list. You're looking at something like above 5th level. There's
I couldn't hear quite.
You're looking at like very much above 5th level spells. You're looking at stuff like flesh to stone, but like a modified flesh to stone. There is there's sequester. There's the 9th level time stop, which you're like, that's a fucking hell of a spell.
That is a hell of a spell to turn up heal.
Yeah. That's what you've got.
Yeah. He also... He's not optimistic about finding anything, but he wants to, Hold on, I'm gonna send that so we have it.
Mm-hmm. I would say as well in this sort of as your natural 20, you do kind of catch some folklore about people that are sort of put into coma-like states here and there. Sometimes they're fiend related, sometimes they're god related. Most of the time they're fae related.
Okay. I'm also sending you something else he's looking into. It's not Aki related, it's...
You'll have to roll a separate investigation for it.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Ixalia, by the way, I am going to roll them a investigation check to see what kind of mutterings they can get amongst the library. Oh, okay.
Well, if it no, you already rolled it. No.
I can
Would you Nagi would help with that muttering.
All right,
yeah.
do the
Yeah. There we go.
21, much better.
Yeah, Nagi would definitely help with that.
Yeah, send me your question.
She sees the books come out and is like, yeah, I'm gonna go with X.
Roll me an investigation check.
Oh, who?
Aster.
Okay.
It's a 19. Nice. Fuck.
Nice. Damn. You're gonna.
Okay.
The guys are with you.
So. When it comes to it, there is only, like, again, you are kind of coming across some of those folklore tales. But when you are glancing at the specific wording for the sequester spell, the sequester spell mentions that anything under sequester, time sort of seems to stop, and it doesn't age or grow. But sequester very much requires the target to be in a state of suspended animation and very much unconscious. The other thing about sequester is that the target becomes invisible, which are 3 conditions you don't meet.
Yep, he figured. but it was a long shot anyway, but it was worth.
Yeah. There are some vague ramblings about modified sequesters, but to maybe remove like the invisibility portion, but no one's managed to figure out anything about how to remove the suspended animation.
Yeah. So helpful for Aki, not so helpful for. But it's fine. It was as much a I'm already looking into this, so I might as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Nagi and Exalia, as you kind of move through the library and some of the grounds around it, you get some information about like its final season for the first semester.
Ripped.
And people are fucking suffering. But people are also like are just trying to get through finals, and then the Harvest Festival will start and everyone can have a break. Right?
Mhm.
Everyone's like, the fucking Harvest Festival, thank God. There is a little hint that you catch from one fellow who's like, yeah, he kind of goes, I mean, knock on wood, the way it's going, the Harvest Festival may be less of a festival and more of a religious lecture this year.
Huh.
And the student next to him kind of swats him, and he's like, don't fucking talk like that. You're gonna manifest it. And there's a girl who's sitting with him, and she's like, it's not that bad yet. We'll see when that fuckwad gets back.
Okay. Good to know.
And that is what you get.
Hmm.
Okay.
Alex, Irene, and Nin. After y'all's shopping trip, was there anything any of you wanted to do?
Good girl.
This is less of a question at you, PK, don't worry.
I have no idea.
And then Sarah is not here right now. Congratulations on not burning your popcorn, PK.
Oh, that's so sad, PK. Although it'd been really funny to just see someone walking out with a bag of popcorn, just munching on it casually. Or even in a bowl. It would have been funnier in a bowl.
Julius, you get Shinohara does not explain about the beard. It seems like it's kind of an emotional thing.
Okay.
And she kind of wiggles around the subject.
Okay. No, he won't push it.
The Arcanium Trio. Aster, is there anything else you wanted to research? Nagi, is there any more investigating you wanted to do? Anything you guys wanted?
So we got some. I don't know right now because we got some information on what's his fuck. I don't remember his
Thomas
name.
Walsh.
Right now. Yeah, Walsh. So that seems. And we also got that there's an undercurrent of we don't like this guy among the students, and that's useful. So I think Nagi's mostly just gonna wait till Aster is done
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything he wants to research at the moment. I don't think there's anything, like, prominent in his mind that he wants to research at the moment.
By the way,
As
Joe,
well.
because you rolled natural 20s, feel free to Google those spells, see what they are. If you have any specific questions about monsters and other things and other outer plane shit, I can give you more information because that's more lore related.
Yeah, that possibly would have been doing some into that, but I think he has definitely noted down that if it was a modified sequester, someone went to quite significant expense to keep Aki alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he would have gotten, like, some basic reference stuff for Outer Planes things that could have caused this, but he's... That stuff he can come later as an adventurer and go, okay,
Do you share your information with Nagi and Exalia? And Nagi, do you share your information with Aster?
Yeah, she does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you share your information with Nagi, Aster?
Yeah.
Nagi, roll me a history check.
Okay. History. Where is history? I'm gonna use my inspiration for this.
Okay.
18. So the natural 19 minus 1.
Yeah. As Aster is explaining these options to you, something is kind of tugging at you at the back of your mind, Nagi. And then it sort of clicks in that you remember at one point, one of your mom's party had told you that when they found you, you had been asleep. In a very similar way that Aki had been.
She'll just say, oh, I don't know. I didn't remember this before. I guess I was just, too busy just trying to figure out what was wrong with them. But one of my mom's party members, well, I suppose they're more like aunts and uncles, mentioned that when they first found me, I was kind of asleep similarly to the way Aki is. Yeah.
You watch Aster just... There are about a dozen micro expressions. And he kind of exhales. I will state that a lot of them had to do with alarm.
Mm-hmm.
And what the fuck?
Nagi, I will say that you don't quite remember how they said they woke you up, but now you are like, my mom or my aunts and my uncles might have more information.
If we get back to Granny, I could turn into one of them and have her send a sending to them. Probably Sunny, because let me check Sunny's gender because I forgot.
Ex-gender of adopted family.
Sunny, they would know. They're the more arcane leaning, the more arcane knowledge of the group. So maybe them. Yeah, we can ask
let them
Granny.
know that you're in.
What was that? Sorry, Pete.
Do you want to let them know that you're in Horitari?
Yeah, I honestly was thinking that I was just gonna write them because the last thing they know is that they told me to not go looking for my mom, and then I snuck out anyway and haven't contacted them since. So I figured should have contacted them sooner, and I was gonna take care to mail them a letter, but I think sending might be the better option here.
Possibly sending and then a letter.
Yeah.
Okay. If it needs to, I can do it in the morning if you need. I don't have sending at the moment, but I can do it in the morning if you need.
Yeah, we can do that. But also, I think Alex got wire, right? And then Granny should have at least one or two more of those, more juice left.
Okay.
Alex is no longer with us, though.
Yeah, no, Alex and where are we heading back to? Because I'm sure we would have established where we were meeting back at.
The tavern.
Yeah, the tavern, because you're given the password.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's where Julius is.
So yeah. So we can head back to meet them. While we're on our way, I might see if everyone is in agreement with the students about.
Make an investigation check.
Yeah.
And yeah, when it comes to that Nagi will help.
Exalia will make a separate one as well.
Just kind of want to get a general vibe check on.
Exalia, the 23.
Damn.
Dirty 20?
Dirty 20. Okay. Between the 20 and the 23, you kind of get the vibe through the Twilight District. And then a little bit through the Western Hills, and then definitely through Glass Park. Public opinion is not 100% sunny on Mr. Thomas Walsh. It's a little bit more positive in the Twilight District itself, but especially through the little bit of the Western Hills you have to kind of walk through, and Glass Park, people are hesitant.
Okay. We can laugh with that.
There seems to be a little bit of malcontentment with some of the sermons Walsh has given out, and some of the changes to like temple decoration and messaging, particularly through the Western Hills bit. You get kind of the notice that some of the people are distinctly unhappy with the sharp decrease in charity and public outreach the temple has been doing over the last few years.
Okay. I think, as we're kind of going through, Asta keeps his expression very neutral, and then we cross into Glass Park and are not, like, actively listening into people, and he just looks at Ix and just... We have so much fuel. Okay. And that'll be conversations I have with Amy.
Mm-hmm. And as we all meet up at the tavern, Irene has had the time to put alarm into her spellbook, I think.
Yay.
Or at least is most of the way through. Julius and Shinohara are able to rejoin downstairs.
Yeah.
And it is about lunchtime. We'll call it about
Julius?
2 p.m. actually.
Julius seems in better spirits.
You have some information, and I'm gonna give you 2 weeks to think and plan, and that's gonna be session.
Yay!
Do we want Alex to get a sending off or no?
We can do that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
I just
too.
realized I
Yeah.
was muted.
What? So what do you need? I'm opening
Yeah.
wordcounter.net. What do you need him to say?
Yeah, Nagi will
And who?
say.
And crucially, who is he sending it to? Because he might not be able to do it.
Yeah, Nagi will run in and say, "Aster, Granny, I need a sending."
Alex.
Oh yeah, Alex, Granny, I need a sending.
Okay, I've got it
So
prepared.
she's gonna turn into a chubby little Asmar that looks like this. So I need you to send it to this person. Their name is Sun
Okay.
Helium. They're like one of my what is their gender neutral term for aunt and uncle? I don't know, but they're like a gender
Uncle.
neutral uncle. They're my uncle. And yeah, I need you to essentially say, hey, Nagi is safe. She is wondering about she found someone like her and they are asleep and won't wake up. How do you wake them?
Okay.
Also, I don't know if Nagi can manifest a halo, but she'll be like, they look like this, but with a halo.
Also,
Oh,
mention if you have the ability to maybe mention Warren Hortari.
hold on. I'm still phrasing.
Someone really ought to invent extended sending, don't you think?
Maybe you could do that, Granny.
Maybe I could, dear.
Okay. This is so this is so Alex will cast sending and says, I'm Nagi's friend. She is safe. She found someone like her in a permanent sleep in Horitari. Do you know how to wake them up? Is that the right city? Am I correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
Horitari is
okay.
that city.
Okay.
Wrong spelling, but we'll go with it.
I don't know how to spell. How do you
Valid.
spell it? That's okay. It sounded okay. That's 25 words exactly.
Okay.
God.
Will you make me a wisdom check?
Wisdom check? Well, just a check?
Oh.
Okay.
Yes, a check. Yes, it's a spell casting check.
Fuck!
No! What's
Whoa,
with the sevens
please,
today?
Parker, please.
I'd
Please.
give you my inspiration
Please.
if I hadn't just used it.
Please. Hey, did we ever use our DM inspiration?
I don't
Wait,
think
use
you
it.
ever have.
Check
no.
your sheet.
From forever ago? Can I use it?
You can use it.
What is the roll for that?
It's
You
just
just
another d20.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, so just click
rolling it.
wisdom again.
Come on, buddy, you can do it.
Yes!
Yeah!
Fuck yeah!
Oh!
Okay. You reach out with your magic, and at first you can't quite seem to catch it and on anything. And then you kind of in and out. And you send it out a little bit farther. And it catches.
Yes!
On the other end of your sending, the first thing you get is a what? Huh? Morning? What? Hello?
Hmm?
No, I'm trying to almost as if whoever this is like waking up.
Ah, time zone.
Uh-oh. Whoops.
So, what? Hello.
That's
That's fair.
Does count as a word, Parker?
Yes.
Yeah.
Goodness.
We're copying this, by the way.
Mhm.
So,
Then there's kind of a pause. Who is this?
Oh no, Sunny, please.
oh no! Come on!
How do you know Nagi? Why are you sending in the middle of the night?
Awesome.
Oh no.
You got
That's
3
the
more
reason-
words.
Nope, that's what you get.
Okay. Well, I've got 2 more spell slots. Alex repeats this message. Hold on. Let me, wordcounter.net, my one and only savior.
I use that every time for sendings because I don't want to count on my fingers.
kind of Nagi under time zone.
Or across the globe.
You've woken this poor Asmore out of a dead fucking sleep.
Okay, I was so worried that they were on another plane for a second. I was like,
No, they were just like, huh, what? Huh? Good morning? Hello?
Trying to.
That's when they get a phone call at 4 in the morning.
Essentially. From a stranger, no less.
saying they know their niece.
Yeah. Hello? Sunny Riom on the other side of the planet is having the wildest, 20 minutes. The wisdom check was because you don't specifically know Sunny yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, I was certain it's because they were on another plane. I'm like, Parker, what are you
Nope.
doing to my family?
No, it's Alex doesn't know them specifically,
Yeah.
and so has to double down in trying to make sure it gets to the right person.
Okay. Okay. This is Alex's reply. Sorry, I'm Alex. It's mid-afternoon here. We met at an inn. She wants to know how to wake someone like her from a permanent sleep.
True love's kiss.
No.
I mean, to be fair, probably pull that with siblings.
Yeah.
There's a pause until the voice on the other end, who still sounds quite groggy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actually, Alex, make me a persuasion check real quick.
Okay. Persuasion. Please.
Of course,
Come on, buddy.
No!
No! You're
Come
top
on!
cow. Come on!
this isn't something anyone can give assistance with.
Fuck me, dude.
You get okay. Depends on how they're asleep. Do you have any proof you're with Nagi? No offense, man. That's it.
Okay, Nagi.
Okay.
Nagi will say, well, maybe. Well, you tell her that she needs. They need proof, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then she'll say, would Nagi know what to say to prove that she's with them? She would, right?
Yeah, you can come up with like some story from like
Yeah.
nowhere in the road, like that one time, like
Remember that one time I got into your potions and grew antlers instead of horns?
yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, tell them that.
Let me look at it.
I'm writing it. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
What more should Nagi? What more should I say aside from that?
Tell them that I'm sorry for leaving, and I miss them, all of them, and that I'm trying to find Ayase.
How do you spell that?
Here, I'll type it.
It's like, no offense, man. Any proof?
No, that's a good response.
I love that he spent the 3 words. That they spent the 3 words. She didn't. No offense, man.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I hate word limits. Hold on. This is difficult.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You can leave out the bit about finding Ayase.
No, it's staying in there. Alex is like, he's like, okay, but I want an answer to the question that I asked. while also trying to get in everything Nagi wants to say.
Well, you can break it into trying to find Ayase. That cuts. Doesn't cut much, but it cuts.
No, that sounds rude. Oh god.
This is why I have a running document of what everyone's NPCs are doing at any given point.
Oh, that sounds exhausting.
I want to send a message to Sunny. Like, you sure fucking do, mate, huh? Scrolls through Google document to find Sunny.
I think Nagi forgot time zones exist.
Forgot time zones exist. Yeah, the opposite side of the planet is like opposite on fucking time zones, man. Which, to be fair, you have identified vaguely where Sunny is. The other
Yeah.
continent.
Okay. This is what Alex says. Last sending. She got into your potions and grew antlers once. She misses you all and is trying to find Ayase, unsure why they're asleep.
Okay, there's pause. Yeah, okay, that sounds right. Honestly, not sure how we woke her up. Looking at pronunciation, this is they would be following this sentence fine. Anishi dropped her?
How do you spell that name?
Yeah, I'll type it.
Dropped her. Then she woke up.
Also, it says there are 2 people looking at my lore document right now. I didn't give anyone else but you access to my lore document. Who are these people?
I don't know. I'm looking at it. I think you're looking at it.
Yeah, it wouldn't show me looking at it.
Multiple devices?
Yeah, I'm multiple devicing it right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
And then sorry. Not much help.
Well, that's better than nothing.
Wait, they dropped me?
I think Watch asked her. Okay, that's actually more helpful than I think it is.
Okay, well, I can't tell them that. I'm out of sending.
Okay, we can maybe.
Gonna punch Anishi so hard when I get back. No, I won't. Yeah, Anishi's he's a good guy, but he's not the brightest. And sometimes he can be a bit clumsy. He's not dexterous,
Okay. So Alex does relay that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Alex relays everything as it comes in, like word for word.
Okay, so what I could find, there were a couple of options, but what I could find, I found something about a spell called Sequester. Apparently they managed to do it something so they weren't invisible. Sure, whatever, magic's weird. Apparently one of the ways to break it is if the target, if the person afflicted is harmed in any way. So dropping you, the sudden shock from hitting the ground, that would have done it.
Also, it's rude.
It's very rude, but
So, do we go and smack Aki?
Shinohara goes, excuse me, what?
Before any of that, what I could find says that it requires quite a substantial cost in gems. Someone went to a lot of effort to keep Aki in that state.
And me too, I guess. Huh.
Yeah. The numbers I was given were anywhere in the region of about 5,000, 5 to 6,000.
Holy fuck.
A
think that's-
mixed powder of diamond, emerald, ruby, and sapphire.
And I think that's where we're going to call session.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that little bit of lore reveal.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Nagi was dropped.
Nagi got dropped on her head as a kid. We learned nothing else from this conversation.
Nagi got dropped on her head as a kid.
Oh, Timothy, we actually got one. Hey.
Hi. How was the end of session, gamers?
Oh, yeah.
Finally,
Is
some
she
Alex
here?
sending.
Some information gathering.
Pog. Love to hear it. So proud of you guys.
Jamie, do not tell me that doesn't make sense.
No, that makes sense. I mean, I'm the one who suggested it, so.
God.
Got dropped on her head.
That poor child.
Is there any more we were gonna do, or should I stop recording?
I think that's gonna be it.
Game's over, Crab
Alright.
Rave.
Crab Rave!